What is the Community Food Sharing Association? It's hundreds of unseen hands passing food from those who give it to those who need it.
It's a huge, complex problem. I believe it's a social problem, hunger.
Food is such a basic necessity, and you have to have it. You have to have it.
In Newfoundland and Labrador, there are 56 groups that operate local food banks. They each collect their own donations and do the best they can with their own supplies. But when the shelves run low, they all rely on the Community Food Sharing Association.
Most of these organizations are run by volunteers. So you don't find them in big buildings with signage and billboards. There is a church basement somewhere or a hall that's being used one night a week or one night a month to do the good that's needed in their communities.
It's Tuesday, Distribution Day at the Association Warehouse in St. John's. A small army of volunteers is packing crates, getting the food ready for the road. Outside, the vans are already waiting. The Bridges to Hope Food Bank rents a U-Haul every week to make this run.
It's a crazy time of year for us. Lots going on. It's our busiest time of year for donations, financially, and for food. We get probably about 40 to 50% of our donations will come in the next 30 days.
But for many people, the season of giving is also a season of need.
This is the time of year where we see the biggest demand, mostly because we've got a lot of people at home, kids aren't in school, they're not availing of back-to-school lunch programs, breakfast programs. You've got more company coming and going, you've got more children hanging around the house than you normally do. It puts a lot of pressure on houses that are food insecure all year.
As soon as the van arrives at the Bridges to Hope Food Bank, the whole packing and loading process plays out in reverse. Inside, more volunteers, ripping open the boxes and sorting food hampers. They're in a hurry, for good reason.
Today we had 30 people outside waiting to get in because we're closed on Monday. And this time of year too, demand obviously is going up. People are trying to save money to spend on gifts.
So who's outside waiting at the door? Who's going hungry? In this province, more than half of food bank users are single-person households. Picture an adult living alone with no one to share the monthly bills. Shockingly, another 30% are children. More than 70% of food bank users rely on social assistance for their main source of income. But there are those 7.5% whose main income is from their job.
If you're a single person living on your own, even on a decent wage, with cost of living right now, and that's not just in Newfoundland, that's across Canada, it's not enough. It's just not enough.
In 2019, there were more than 10,000 visits to food banks across the province, a small increase from the year before. Where does all that food come from? Corporate donations, community food drives, from grocery stores, and from mom and pop down the street. But one of the most important kinds of food is off limits to all but the luckiest food banks.
I applied for a grant and I got this cooler. So I know it sounds simple, right? A walk-in cooler, a stand-up cooler. But again, most food banks don't have access. But because I have this cooler now, we can offer eggs. Usually we have yogurts, cheese strings for kids.
In this province, 3 out of 4 food banks don't have a refrigerator. They can't take milk or eggs. They can't give out fresh fruit or vegetables. For want of an appliance that costs a few $1,000s, food bank users are cut off from all that nutrition.
I wish I had more success stories to tell you on local food banks that have refrigeration. There just aren't that many yet. We all want to do it. We just don't have the manpower or the logistics, or the network is not strong enough to do that right now.
If there was one thing you wish that people understood about food banks, about food bank usage, about hunger in the community, what would it be?
The one thing I would like for everyone to know, the best way to help a food bank is to donate money. That's the truth. I can turn your $1 into as much as $5. Of course, we always appreciate food because food is money, but I do want people to know that, like, as far as bang for your buck goes, $1 is $3 to $5. So if you look at it that way.
Right now, all over the province, there are shelves being stocked, hampers being sorted, food drives and fundraisers being organized. There are people giving money, there are people giving time. It takes all those hands pulling together to put food on the table for those in need. But what every food bank needs is another pair of hands.
If people could just appreciate that and look around their own communities and in their own networks for those who may need a little bit of help or assistance, I think it will go a long way.
Zach Gowdy, CBC News, St. John's.